Top 10 biggest one-year wonders in NFL history. They dominated the league, broke records, and made millions believe they were the next big thing. Then they vanished. These are the NFL's greatest one-year wonders who shocked the world and disappeared. Before we hit the countdown, here are some honorable mentions. We've got 5 players who nearly cracked the list. Trent Richardson came into the league in 2012 as a first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns. He rushed for 950 yards and 11 touchdowns as a rookie, showing flashes of being a franchise back. Cleveland was so confident, they traded him to Indianapolis in 2013. But Richardson never found that magic again, struggling to average even 3 yards per carry before washing out of the league entirely. Carson Wentz had an MVP-caliber 2017 season with the Philadelphia Eagles. He threw for 33 touchdowns with just 7 interceptions before tearing his ACL in Week 14. Nick Foles took over and won the Super Bowl, but Wentz was never quite the same player again. Injuries and inconsistency plagued his career afterward. Miles Austin was an undrafted free agent who exploded in 2009 with the Dallas Cowboys. He caught 81 passes for 1,320 yards and 11 touchdowns, earning a Pro Bowl selection. Hamstring injuries derailed his career, and he never came close to those numbers again. Steve Berline was a journeyman quarterback who had one spectacular season in 1999 with the Carolina Panthers. At 34 years old, he threw for 4,436 yards and 36 touchdowns, earning a Pro Bowl nod. The following year, he threw 15 interceptions and was benched. And finally, David Boston was a physical specimen who put up monster numbers in 2001 with the Arizona Cardinals, with 1,598 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. He signed a massive contract with San Diego, but injuries and off-field issues ended his career prematurely. Let's get into the main countdown. Coming in at number 10 is Kansas City Chiefs running back Larry Johnson. In 2006, Johnson was an absolute workhorse, carrying the ball a league-leading 416 times for 1,789 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. He was the engine of the Chiefs' offense and earned first-team All-Pro honors. But here's the thing. Those 416 carries took a devastating toll on his body. Johnson never rushed for more than 874 yards in any season after that. The wear and tear, combined with off-field issues, ended his time in Kansas City, and he bounced around the league before retiring. That 2006 season was his entire legacy condensed into one brutal, brilliant year. At number 9, we have Nick Foles. Now, yes, Nick Foles had that incredible Super Bowl run in 2017, but his true one-year wonder season came in 2013 with the Philadelphia Eagles under Chip Kelly's revolutionary offense. Foles threw 27 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions, posting a quarterback rating of 119.2, one of the best single-season marks in NFL history. He threw 7 touchdowns in a single game against Oakland. Everyone thought the Eagles had found their franchise quarterback, but the magic vanished. Foles struggled the following year, was traded to St. Louis, and bounced around the league. That 2013 season remains one of the most statistically efficient quarterback performances ever, and it came completely out of nowhere. Number 8 is one of the most heartbreaking entries on this list. Robert Griffin III burst onto the scene in 2012 like a comet. He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, threw for 3,200 yards, ran for 815 more, and led the Washington Redskins to the playoffs. His electric playing style made him a must-watch every Sunday. But then came that fateful playoff game against Seattle, where he destroyed his knee. Griffin was never the same athlete again, whether it was the organization rushing him back or the injury fundamentally changing his abilities. RG3 went from potential Hall of Famer to journeyman backup in the blink of an eye. At number 7, Rex Grossman. The Chicago Bears quarterback rode an incredible defense and a solid running game all the way to Super Bowl 41 in 2006. Grossman threw for over 3,100 yards and 23 touchdowns that season. But even during that magical year, Grossman was wildly inconsistent. He'd throw 4 touchdowns one week and 4 interceptions the next. After that Super Bowl loss to Indianapolis, Grossman lost his starting job and spent the rest of his career as a backup. That 2006 season was a perfect storm of circumstances that allowed a limited quarterback to reach the biggest stage in football. For number 6, we have to go back to 1999 and Denver Broncos running back Olandis Gary. When Terrell Davis went down with a knee injury, the 4th-round rookie stepped in and absolutely dominated. Gary rushed for 1,159 yards and 7 touchdowns, showing the world that the Broncos' zone blocking scheme could make anyone a star. The following season, Gary injured his own knee and was never the same. He played just a few more years before retiring, forever wondering what could have been. That 1999 season remains his entire NFL legacy. At number 5, Houston Texans running back Steve Slaton. In his 2008 rookie season, Slaton rushed for 1,282 yards and 9 touchdowns while adding 377 receiving yards. He was electric, shifty, and seemed destined for stardom. But defenses figured him out quickly. Slaton lacked the size to handle increased contact, and his production completely cratered. By 2011, he was out of the league entirely. That rookie year was a mirage, a small, speedy back catching teams off guard before they adjusted. Number 4 is Josh Gordon, and this one hurts because of the sheer talent involved. In 2013, Gordon caught 87 passes for 1,646 yards and 9 touchdowns for the Cleveland Browns, and he missed 2 games due to suspension. He led the league in receiving yards with a revolving door of terrible quarterbacks. Gordon's talent was undeniable. He was a physical freak who could dominate any cornerback, but substance abuse issues derailed his career repeatedly. He'd been suspended multiple times, and he never came close to replicating that 2013 magic. It remains one of the greatest single receiving seasons in modern history, making his fall even more tragic. Coming in at number 3, Alfred Morris had one of the greatest rookie seasons for a running back in NFL history. The 6th-round pick rushed for 1,613 yards and 13 touchdowns for Washington in 2012, forming a devastating duo with RG3. Morris was a bruising, physical runner who seemed built for a long career. But as the read option offense faded and RG3 declined, so did Morris. He bounced to Dallas and San Francisco, never coming close to that rookie production. He was a system player who thrived in a specific moment that couldn't be recreated. At number 2, Derek Anderson, the Cleveland Browns quarterback who came out of nowhere in 2007, throwing for 3,787 yards and 29 touchdowns. He earned a Pro Bowl selection and had Browns fans believing they'd finally found their franchise quarterback. Then, 2008 happened. Anderson threw just 9 touchdowns with 8 interceptions before being benched for Brady Quinn. He spent the rest of his career as a backup, never starting more than a handful of games. That 2007 season was a complete aberration, a career backup who caught lightning in a bottle for one improbable year. And at number 1, the ultimate one-year wonder is Peyton Hillis. The fullback turned feature back had a monster season for the Cleveland Browns in 2010. He rushed for 1,177 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground, while also hauling in 61 receptions for 477 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. That gave him over 1,600 yards from scrimmage, making him one of the most versatile backs in the league that year. He was so popular that fans voted him onto the cover of Madden NFL 12, beating out superstars like Michael Vick and Aaron Rodgers. A white running back dominating the league was a novelty, and Hillis fully embraced the spotlight. He became a folk hero in Cleveland, a city desperate for any kind of football success. But everything fell apart fast. Contract disputes, injuries, and illness derailed his 2011 season completely. He rushed for just 587 yards and was never the same player again. Hillis bounced to Kansas City and then New York before retiring, forever remembered as the most random Madden cover athlete in history and the biggest one-year wonder the NFL had ever seen. These players remind us how fleeting success can be in professional football. One season, you're on top of the world, and the next, you're fighting for a roster spot. Which one-year wonder surprised you the most? Drop your pick in the comments below. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another NFL breakdown. See you next time.